today we're doing a chest and delt workout with some triceps as well at the end. So the main thing I want to focus on today is kind of breaking down the logic behind what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So for chest, if you were to open up my skin right here and to see the actual fibers of my muscle, you can see that I have a good chunk of the pec major connecting right up here to the medial clavicle, coming right down to the humerus right here. And you'll also see that I have a big chunk of fibers right here, down in the sternocostal region of my pec that come up here across and also connect to the humerus as well. So then you also have a small amount of fibers that come across the middle portion of your pec, all connecting into the humerus. So as you can see, if you press at an angle and press at a decline, are going to hit the most majority of fibers between those two movements. So not to say that you shouldn't bench, especially if you want to have a strong bench press, but if your goals are mainly aesthetics, an incline-decline combination will probably be your best bet. So today I'm doing 4 sets of 6. On this last set here, I've already done 3 sets of 6. On this last set, I'm going to try to go beyond 6. I'm trying to do 7 or 8 reps. And maybe we'll get 7 or 8 reps. On this next workout that I do, I will either up the weight or I will increase my rep count and progress that way. So, and this is just some simple basic progressions. Many ways to progress that I'll discuss later, but that's what I'm doing for now. So.
Okay, so dumbbells do give you a key advantages in this movement. One being that you're able to get a longer range of motion, a better stretch reflex at the bottom of the movement, and that you're also able to bring the dumbbells together at the top of the movement and do a little bit more humeral adduction, which is one of the functions of the pec major. So those are the 2 key benefits that you get with this movement, and why I typically use dumbbells for it.
So you notice with me there's a lot of imbalances going on there, partially because of this torn pec I have on the right side, never been repaired. A little funky, that's why I use dumbbells. Helps balance things out a little bit more. And go ahead and start recording.
Alright, so next on the agenda was side laterals, as you can see, and the plan was for 3 sets of 10 with this exercise, go beyond 10 in the last set, but I ended up burning out a little bit too early on the second set and only got 8 on the last set. So I will get back into that for a pick back up.
Okay, so what we're doing right here is a side lateral cable raise for the mid-delt, which is responsible for shoulder adduction. It attaches right here at the acromion process, down here at the deltoid tuberosity, where all the delts connect, but it's only responsible for the shoulder adduction movement right here. Therefore, obviously, the side lateral is the most beneficial movement for that. And using a cable is a little bit more productive than a dumbbell because of the fact that you're getting constant tension throughout the entire movement, whereas a dumbbell is constantly trying to force its weight downward, so you have different points of peak tension throughout that movement. So that's why a cable is the preferred movement for this particular exercise.
Alright, so it's not the end of the world to burn out too early. You can certainly do descending sets, but the major issue is that it will decrease the amount of volume that you're able to produce for that workout. So in other words, you're not going to be able to lift as much weight times reps. You're either going to have to lower the weight or do less reps, and that's going to hurt your volume. So burning out on the last set is always preferred.
Okay, so now that I've kind of given my chest and anterior deltoids a little bit of time to cool off from the incline press and did the side laterals in between, now I've come back and now I'm doing the decline press to start working on the chest again as well too. So on this decline press, like I said, mostly working on the chunk of lower fibers on the lower chest. You know, a little bit on the anterior deltoid, not really nearly as much as you would be on the incline, but also working tries as well, again, of course, because it's a pressing movement. All right, so last set, did 3 sets of 6 already. Last set, gonna go try to get beyond that. If possible, judging by that last set, probably not gonna happen. Yeah, typically taking in rep ranges of 6 and 8, somewhere around a minute and a half, maybe even up to 2-minute breaks in between sets. Alright, so also working a little bit of the traps as well today. Giving the chest another little break here before we finish it off. And so what I'm going to show you right now is a modified version of a shrug. And the main difference that we're going to be doing here from a normal shrug is just hinging at the hip. So just like this, little hip hinge instead of standing straight up. And usually when you do a standing you're just elevating the scapula, which is not what the trap is responsible for. So it's a head of pulling back together the shoulder blades and actually activating that trap. So as you can see, there's a nice wide grip on this. It will help you pinch a little bit more in the back. Hold off the bar. Hip. Flex your neck as well too. Do not look up when you're doing this. You get more contraction with your neck flex. Just pull it back and not letting the bar pull me down. Alright, so the other main function of the pec major is humeral adduction. So that means bringing your humeruses together, just like in a fly. So a squeezing movement. On this, having my friend Daniel externally rotate his forearms on the way back and really stretch, and then bring his thumbs together and really think about pinching on the way in to get as much lengthening and contraction as possible in this movement. This is our last movement of the workout for today. So as you can see, total of 5 movements for chest and delts. Did not do any specific movement for the front delts, and I'll kind of get into that when I summarize the workout later. So, all right, that's it.
All right, so I just briefly touched on the anterior deltoids and why I don't specifically train that muscle group, because it's a very dominant muscle group for me, and the rear deltoids or the posterior deltoids are a very weak muscle group for me. So I have to put a little bit more attention into those. I do the anterior deltoids. I would suggest that somebody who's weak with delts does another leg press or a front push.
Okay, so I lied. I forgot the last movement of the workout was actually just a rope tricep extension. So only finishing off with one tricep movement, and we've already done several pressing movements, so they've already been worked. So any more than this would just be beating a dead horse, which I'll get into that kind of stuff later. But basically, I'm having Daniel keep his elbow back behind his body in order to get a little bit more shortening out of the tricep. So the more you're able to shorten the muscle, the more fibers you're able to recruit with the movement. On this, having him really go slow on the eccentric portion of the movement, a good stretch, you're able to create more muscle damage when you are stretching when you're doing the eccentric portion of the movement. One of the main factors for muscle growth, besides mechanical tension and metabolic fatigue.